It's time for Michael Morales Torres and Lucha Libre Online.
Saludos a toda la afición de la lucha libre. Este que les habla es Michael Morales Torres, integrante del equipo de Lucha Libre Online. Aquí con mi coanfitrión Fabricio Solano de Universo Latino y Acción Wrestling. Y tenemos el enorme privilegio de presentarles a nuestro invitado en la tarde de hoy, representando, coño, a la gente, a la raza, Puerto Rico en la casa, puñeta. Danny Limelight is in the house. Danny.
Mi gente, ¿qué es lo que hay? Dímelo, papi, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien por acá, brother, en Puerto Rico. Qué gustazo tenerte acá con nosotros. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, baby. You know, I'm chilling over here. Just finished, main event and championship wrestling from Hollywood, retaining the championships. Busy week coming off of everything, at the time of this recording with AEW. I'm doing good, papi. Everything's going good, man. How thanks for having me on the show. How are you guys?
Everything good here. It is such an honor, man, to have you here with us today because of the fact that you are a fellow Latino. You're like us, and you are, after hard work, you finally earned your opportunity. And holy shit, you've been hot as hell recently, man. You've been everywhere. But Fabrice is going to be doing the first question. And we will go a little bit back on the Radioactive Papi's career in his humble beginnings. So, Fabricio, mete mano, you can start with you.
Mételo, papi.
Thank you, Michael. It's a great honor to share this interview with amazing superstar, amazing champion right now. Con la energía de Puerto Rico, con esa energía que entramos. Let's go to start. The first question I want to know, how did your passion for pro wrestling started?
For me, the passion came from when I was a kid, cuando yo soy un niño. I was watching 97 Bad Blood, Taker and Michaels in Hell in a Cell. Kane came out, the whole thing happened. I was so upset. I turned the TV off, and my father dame un coquetazo, he popped me on my head for turning the TV off. And so I think right there was the first time that I actually fell in love with wrestling. Was that story, that the Shakespeare of it, the drama. Then I started watching it on the weekly, and The Rock was my favorite. The Rock was the one that kind of got me into wrestling, where I wanted to watch it all the time. And then when The Rock left, Eddie Guerrero became, my favorite. For the Latinos out there, la raza, baby. It was Eddie.
That's right.
So I'm going to translate this to Spanish because it's a really interesting story. Gente, para los que no sepan, un cocotazo es cuando tu mamá o tu papá, por lo general tu papá, pone el puño de esta manera. Tiene la parte de aquí arriba y te dan encima de la cabeza sin ningún tipo de piedad con los nudillos o con los huesos. Y gente, eso bota fuego por ahí para abajo. Así corrigen los puertorriqueños entre eso y chancletazos, correa, y de vez en cuando te tiran hasta con un pote de adobo Goya, pero experiencias distintas en cada hogar. La experiencia va a variar en la crianza boricua, por lo menos en la mía fue así. Pero volviendo a la historia de Danny Limelight, él menciona que su pasión por la industria comienza cuando vio Bad Blood en 1997, que Kane salió. Todos sabemos lo que ocurrió en esa lucha entre Kane y Shawn Michaels en aquel Hell in a Cell match, el primer Hell in a Cell match. Kane hace su entrada, Danny se molesta, apaga el televisor y el papá por la parte de atrás, a lo boricua, ¡ra! El cocotazo encima, te lo ganaste, papi, el televisor no lo apagues porque estamos viendo lucha libre, eso es cultura. Y eventualmente su pasión comenzó a crecer y obviamente The Rock fue una de las personas que lo inspiró, y eventualmente el latino hit Eddie Guerrero, quien llenó su corazón y lo inspiró constantemente a lo que es hoy día. Danny, mano, Puerto Rico es una isla enorme, pequeña en tamaño, pero enorme en tamaño. It's big as hell in talent. So in the history of pro wrestling, Puerto Rico is really rich. It's part of our culture, as many people know. Were you inspired by any particular Puerto Rican pro wrestler while growing up or after you grew up? For example, Savio Vega, Carlos Colón, Pedro Morales. Hell does a lot of them.
The only Puerto Rican wrestler that I remember when I was a kid, cuando soy niño, is Savio Vega. But I don't remember his matches. I just remember the name, And when Carlito was on TV, he was one of the first Puerto Ricans that I was like, oh shit, this guy's cool, He was spitting in people's face with the apple. He had a cool finisher. The backstabber was dope. And I thought he was a fun character. But what inspired me to wrestle would be, I would have to say, was The Rock or Eddie Guerrero, especially. They were the ones that was like, I gravitated towards, you know? And then even when I was coming up, like there wasn't that many Puerto Ricans besides, you know, Primo and Epico, but they were dressed up as matadors. So there wasn't many Puerto Rican faces like on TV doing the Puerto Rican thing, you know? I remember watching Ivelisse and Lucha Underground. You know, a matter of fact, look, I got Ivelisse's beanie on right now.
La Sicaria.
La Sicaria. I remember watching her on Lucha Underground. I remember watching Santana and Ortiz, you know, doing their thing on the independent scene, rocking and rolling. I see you got their shirt on right now.
Yeah, I have it on representing.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there wasn't many Puerto Ricans, you know. So it was kind of cool when I started wrestling to be able to pick up the flag too and start, you know, representing for my culture. You know, now I think Puerto Rican wrestlers, you know, again, Santana Ortiz, you know, you got Serpentico, you got Ivelisse, you got Tasha Steelz in Impact. My tag partner, obviously, you know, Papo Esco, Slice Boogie, but there's not many of us, you know, there's a handful of us that are actually, you know, doing our thing on the wrestling. So it's kind of cool to be able to be one of the first guys, you know, to like really be rocking and rolling, representing for Puerto Rico and obviously for New York too. So
I'm going to translate this to Spanish. Menciona que obviamente el nombre que sí recordaba creciendo, pero no recuerda sus luchas en particular, es Sabio Vega. Pero sí, cuando llega Carlito a WWE, él dijo como que coño, este muchacho es cool, con su manzana, escupiendo a la gente. Y fue como que un nombre que le cautivó, pero obviamente sus inspiraciones fueron The Rock y Eddie Guerrero, eso está claro. Sin embargo, se siente orgulloso de ser parte de este mismo grupo de puertorriqueños selectos que están brillando en el mundo entero, porque realmente no son muchos luchadores puertorriqueños. Están, como él menciona, con una mano contada. Está Ivelisse, está Santana, está Ortiz, que los vio en su momento dado a Ivelisse en Lucha Underground, a Santana y Ortiz en el circuito independiente. Serpentico mismo menciona a su compañero de equipo Papo Esco, también boricua, entre muchísimos otros que han tenido la oportunidad de brillar. Y pues él está, al igual que Tasha Steelz en Impact, él está agradecido de ser parte de ese batch de puertorriqueños que están brillando como es parte de esta nueva generación. Fabricio, let's go to the next one.
Thank you, Michael. I want to know something. Part of the shine of the biggest world wrestling is to share your skills in another many company of wrestling. I want to know something. How did you get the opportunity to work with New Japan Pro Wrestling? Who made the call to share with this amazing company of business of wrestling?
For me, I had met Rocky Romero, who's also another Boricua that's been, you know, doing it for years. I met Rocky Romero through David Marquez, who's another Boricua, who's the owner of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So at the time, Rocky Romero had just won the PP3 Cup in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I met him there, you know, kept in contact, and just, you know, through social media. And I started wrestling, started grinding, started putting in the work. And it was in the fall of 2019, I want to say October or November, probably November of 2019, that I got the call to go to the New Japan tryout at the LA dojo. So I went, I did the tryout camp, and then I got the call from Rocky Romero that they were going to be bringing me into New Japan to make my debut, and I was going to be wrestling TJ Perkins. Amazing opportunity. TJP is a star, you know, wrestling him at such a huge stage like New Japan, and just really being able to freaking show the world what I can do for the real first time, really, besides when I made my Impact debut. But that was like the first time where like the masses really saw me was when I wrestled TJP at New Japan.
So I'm going to translate this to Spanish one more time. Menciona que su llegada, Fabricio le pregunta por cómo llegó a New Japan Pro Wrestling. Él menciona que también otro compañero boricua, Rocky Romero. Coño, estamos como regados por todo el mundo, hay puertorriqueños en todos lados. Rocky, que estaba en Japón, de repente está en California con Championship Wrestling de David Marquez, otro puertorriqueño. We're literally everywhere, man.
Yeah, good. That's how we should be.
Yeah, it's part of being Puerto Rican. Pero volviendo al punto, David Marquez, la empresa suya, Championship Wrestling, ahí Rocky Romero le brinda la oportunidad a Limelight de poder exponer su talento en este nuevo proyecto de New Japan Pro Wrestling también en California, si no me equivoco fue New Japan Strong, en donde tuvo la oportunidad de mostrar su talento ante nada más y nada menos que TJ Perkins, TJP, una superestrella de calibre internacional, y el resto es historia. Touching about a basis about the same topic, New Japan Pro Wrestling, how's the creative process in the company so far? Because I've heard wonders from people like the same TJP, Fred Roser, Tom Lawler, among many others that spoke to me about the creative process and how can wrestlers be wrestlers. So with your experience so far in the company, how was the dynamic backstage with the co-workers and the creative process?
I don't, just first of all, I want to shout out Tom Lawler. You know what I'm saying? We team filthy in the building. Me, Tom Lawler, JR Kratos, and Chris Dickinson. So shout out to Team Filthy. I just, I'm just happy to be there. I'm happy to be able to be Danny Limelight, working with such amazing talented people there. Some of the best wrestlers are in New Japan. So being able to step into the ring with Rocky Romero, Fred Rosser, teaming with Tom Lawler and Chris Dickinson and Kratos, learning from them, wrestling Chase Owens, wrestling, a bunch of the guys in that locker room, PJ Black, Blake Christensen, the whole New Japan crown tournament that I went through, made it to the finals in. It's just been cool to be able to just be me, do my thing, you know what I'm saying? And really just take my game to the next level with the striking, the submission, grappling game, and the high flying that everybody loves to see me do as well. So it's been a blessing being able to just, really, do my thing there, man. And I'm forever grateful to New Japan to allow me to be part of that show. New Japan Strong's doing an amazing thing on Friday nights, and I'm happy to be there.
So, menciona que primero que todo le envío un saludo a Tom Lawler porque él es Team Filthy, al igual que muchos de nosotros. Tom Lawler, si no lo han visto, saquen de su tiempo. Está en MLW, está en New Japan Pro Wrestling, está en todo el mundo y sigue dando de qué hablar. Pero volviendo al punto, menciona que esa oportunidad de crecer junto con otros talentos veteranos, menciona entre muchos nombres el mismo Fred Roser, el mismo PJ Black, le brinda tal vez esa oportunidad de aprender de los mejores, de crecer de los mejores, de conocer sobre lo que se está haciendo en la industria de la lucha libre en un escenario tan grande y tan importante como New Japan Strong, un excelente programa. Menciona que está todos los viernes disponible, de hecho está todos los viernes disponible a las 10 de la noche hora del este, así que échenle un ojo en Fight TV, créeme que no se van a decepcionar y no se van a arrepentir. Fabricio, vamos a la próxima.
So after that you share us your experience in New Japan Pro Wrestling, let's go to travel to another wrestling company. I'm going to talk about that how's been your experience wrestling with AEW. So who gave you the call?
So after I made my New Japan debut, I contacted Christopher Daniels at AEW. I sent him my stuff, resume, photos, matches, things like that. And he told me that they were going to put my stuff on file and they'll let me know when there was, something for me. I think I was still relatively, just new to the masses from New Japan, so not that many people still knew who I was, except people that watched the first few episodes of New Japan Strong and people that had seen me on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, United Wrestling Network. And so when some more time went by, competing in the Lions Break Crown, going to the finals, wrestling Clark Connors, having my feud with Rocky, just really, doing my thing at Primetime Live, the pay-per-views on Tuesdays with United Wrestling Network, and just having consistently good matches. I think that my name just started to get out there more and more. I got a call. Well, actually, I got an email from QT Marshall from AEW. And they told me they wanted to bring me in, and I flew out there, and I stepped into the ring, my debut against Jurassic Express, got to showcase a little bit of what I can do, and I just kept getting brought back. They kept telling me they wanted me to come back, and I've been very, very blessed that I've been able to, have good matches with some of the best talent, wrestling guys like, Matt Sydal, Brian Cage, Ray Phoenix, multiple tag matches with the Jurassic Express. Making my Dynamite debut and only my 10th match, wrestling Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers on Dynamite. So it's been so much fun. I wrestled Santana and Ortiz, the Dark Order. I just been getting in the ring with some of the best of them, man, and being able to really, show the fans of AEW what I can do consistently, night in and night out. It's been so much fun, and I'm super thankful for the opportunities that, that they've been giving me.
So I'm going to translate this to Spanish. Fabricio le pregunta cómo llegó Danny Limelight a All Elite Wrestling. Y lo interesante de esto es que él le envió su información a Christopher Daniels, también un compañero de California, y Christopher Daniels le deja saber que le avisará cuando ocurra algo. De repente recibe un email de QT Marshall y el resto es historia. Allí de repente The Radioactive Puppy llega a All Elite Wrestling y tiene la oportunidad de enfrentarse no a cualquier loco. O sea, su primera lucha tiene a Jurassic Express, de repente tiene a Santana Ortiz, de repente tiene a The Dark Order. Coño, hace unas semanas atrás estaba enfrentándose en AEW Dynamite. No a cualquier persona, o sea, en el debut de los Good Brothers en AEW Dynamite, este fue el macho que estaba metido en el ring con ellos y con el mismo Kenny Omega, que es el campeón máximo. Así que ha tenido la oportunidad de estar en el cuadrilátero con los mejores talentos porque es uno de los mejores talentos. And speaking about being elite talent, how's been the creative process for you so far in AEW? People describe it as this utopia, this creative freedom for the wrestlers. Wrestlers, one more time, can be wrestlers. And everyone feels so comfortable and happy to be there. That's like, some people can say their goal is AEW, but the true independent wrestlers say that their goal is All Elite Wrestling because of the creative freedom they have there. So creatively speaking, and on the backstage ambience, how's been your experience so far with the company?
Oh man, again, super thankful to be there. It's fun times. You know, the locker room is great. It's professional. I'm fortunate that I'm able to be Danny Limelight. You know, I'm able to do what I do in the ring. You know, nobody's told me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be this, that. Like I'm Danny Limelight on TV week in and week out. Since making my debut, it's been pretty consistent. I've been able to have really good matches, and it's been fun, man. I'm enjoying the process, man. I love when you put in the work and you just see the process little by little paying off. It feels amazing, and you know, we'll see what comes next. You know, like it's been fun so far. And I'm happy. I'm happy. You know, like it feels good.
Menciona que se siente sumamente agradecido por la oportunidad, que está feliz, que se siente exaltado, que se siente emocionado de ser parte de esta nueva cepa de luchadores en este programa que es All Elite Wrestling, sea Dark and Dynamite, y esta empresa le ha brindado la oportunidad de crecer. Entiendo que todo estuvo más que claro. Fabricio, vamos adelante. ¿Cuál es la próxima? Bueno, las próximas.
So, Danny, in the same way, I want to know something. Well, we want to know something.
The people.
How's been working with Tony Khan? How was your experience with this amazing guy in AEW?
He's amazing, man. He's a great human being. He's a good leader. He has everybody's, you know, for those that don't know, I was in the Marine Corps, and you know, it was always special when you found good leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like when you had a captain that was just all about getting the mission done, but caring about the welfare of his troops. That's what it feels like when I'm at AEW. It's like you have a strong captain that wants to get the mission accomplished, but at the same time care for the troops. And I have nothing but amazing things to say about him.
Menciona que cada entidad necesita un buen líder. Fabricio le pregunta por Tony Khan y Dani nos deja claro que Tony Khan es ese líder que necesita la empresa y ha ejercido su rol más que por excelencia. Fabricio, mete mano, ¿cuál es la próxima?
Thank you, Michael. So, how did it feel to be part of the Spanglish sketches of BTA with fellow Latinos?
BTE, baby. Everyone loves Spanglish, man.
Making my BTE debut, that was fun. You know, I love Dasha. I love, you know, Ortiz. That's my boy, you know. So it was, can you hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Yeah. You know, so it was cool. And, you know, I grew up watching Jake the Snake as well. You know, he was one of the guys that like was a legend. So just that little scene with all of us trying to, you know, get him from drinking the juice and stuff like that. It was fun, man. You know, with the little, bachata salsa, whatever dance, and it's just great, man. Surrounding yourself with people that are fun and just good vibes. So it was fun, man. It was cool to be part of that.
Le preguntan por qué se siente ser parte de los sketches de BTE. Obviamente se siente contento, fue divertido ser parte de estos segmentos con gente como Dasha, como Ortiz y principalmente, o sea, él estuvo en un sketch con Jake the Snake Roberts. No es con cualquier persona, es Jake the freaking Snake Roberts. Es como que, what else can top that, man? So I want to say something in Spanish before we go to the last two questions. The first thing is, Danny Limelight tiene su mercancía disponible en prowrestlingtees.com/Danny Limelight, prowrestlingtees.com/Danny Limelight. Si quieres una camisa para representar a la gente, si estás en Nueva York, en California, en Florida, en Puerto Rico, en donde quiera que estés, esta es la página que tienes que visitar y adquirir tu mercancía en prowrestlingtees.com/Danny Limelight. En adición a esto, para todos los promotores de todas partes del mundo, en Panamá, en Chile, en Costa Rica, en Ecuador, en Argentina, en Puerto Rico, que quieran tener los servicios de Danny Limelight como luchador, solamente tienen que ir a un solo lugar. Vayan a su correo electrónico de booking, si es dannylimelight@gmail.com, dannylimelight@gmail.com. Se pueden comunicar con él y sea la empresa que quiera llevarlo, o sea, a Puerto Rico, a República Dominicana, donde sean, este caballero todavía por este periodo de tiempo es agente libre, así que grab him while you can, y mientras se pueda hacer pro wrestling. Y por último, pueden visitarlo en sus redes sociales, en Instagram y en Twitter, como @DannyLimelight, en Instagram y en Twitter @DannyLimelight, y ahora con su blue check mark disponible en Instagram, so it looks good as hell. So this is a classic Puerto Rican question. Not for me it's a no-brainer, but hell, there's a lot of debate about this in Puerto Rico. So there are two of them. The first one, reggaetón o salsa?
Salsa.
Héctor Lavoe o Frankie Ruiz?
Héctor Lavoe, papi. Siempre.
That to me is also a no-brainer, but like this is literally a debate every day in Puerto Rico. Half of the people are, I don't know why. To me, it should be a no-brainer, but people love Frankie too much.
I would remember waking up when I was a kid and my dad was cleaning and playing Héctor Lavoe.
Everyone remembers that, specifically for the smell of mistolín and everything they used to clean the house, man. So last but not least, Danny, first of all, it's been such an honor, man, to have you here as our guest today. We thank you so much for your time. Last question, ¿qué se siente representar a mi gente, a Puerto Rico? How do you feel representing the people of Puerto Rico, and not Puerto Rico only, hell, the whole Latin American community is on your shoulders, man. You're not only in AEW, you're in New Japan, you're in United Wrestling Network, you're literally everywhere con la bandera puertorriqueña encima. ¿Qué se siente?
Man, it's like I have the strength of 1,000 Taino warriors, you know what I'm saying, in my back, you know, running it with me full speed with the chanclas and the machetes and the pistolas, and then we just charge it, you know what I'm saying? It feels good to have that pressure, that feeling of like honor and like carrying the weight of Latinos on my back, Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? Even my daughter, she's half Mexican, so the Mexicanos, all Latino culture just rocking and rolling with me, you know, mi gente. I say it all the time, amor de mi gente, love of my people. I love my people, and it feels so good to represent them as a champion and on all these companies on TV, nationwide, worldwide, you know, so it feels good, papi, for real.
Creo que esto no necesita traducción. El amor que siente Danny Limelight por su gente, por Puerto Rico, por México, por Latinoamérica entero, es suficiente como para que ustedes hayan entendido ese mensaje con los 1000 guerreros taínos con pistolas, con chanclas, de todos los instrumentos que mencionó, la chancla es la más letal de todas. We can still run away from that. So Danny, thank you so much for your time, man. This has been really fun. Always wishing you the best of luck in all your future projects. And to all our audience in Spanish, AEW Dark, todos los martes, 7 de la noche hora del este por YouTube en el canal de All Elite Wrestling. AEW Dynamite, todos los miércoles, 8 de la noche hora del este, TNT y Fight TV. Tienes United Wrestling Network todos los martes, 9 de la noche por Fight TV hora del este. Y por último, tienes New Japan Strong los viernes a las 10 de la noche, hora del este en Fight TV. You can find Danny Limelight literally everywhere.
Everywhere, baby, everywhere, papi.
El puertorriqueño más caliente en el mercado. Danny, thank you so much, man. It's been an honor.
Salud, papi.